Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of PGR2 Platinum Handicap playthrough, and in this part we're looking at the Coupe series. This series is slightly underwhelming with what you can do with the cars, but there are a couple of events in here that are a little surprising. But if we take a look at the cars, this is kind of similar to the sports convertible series. We've got like quite a divide in the cars, and they're divided in in a group of sort of 4 cars, and then there's 3 cars way ahead. So we've got the 2 starter cars, which are the Honda Integra Type R and the Mazda RX-8. The Honda Integra Type R is the only front-wheel drive car in the group, if I recall. All the others are rear-wheel drive or 4-wheel drive. And this is just the worst car in terms of it understeering, in terms of acceleration, everything about it is the worst car. Then we've got the Mazda RX-8. And there's also the Audi TT Coupe. And this is the weird thing when they have 2 Audi TTs in the group. But we've got the Audi TT Coupe, which I actually, driving it, they're pretty close, these two, the RX-8 and the Audi TT Coupe. I think the RX-8 is slightly better. Even though the handling stat is 1 less, I think the RX-8 is just better than the TT Coupe, mainly because it's quicker. Apart from the top speed, it's actually better overall, I'd say. Then we've got the Audi TT 3.2 Quattro, which is just a bit quicker than the rest. It's not like a million miles better, but it is better. But those 4 cars I've just mentioned are pretty close. Then there's a huge gap, like a ginormous gap between this Audi TT and the Nissan 350Z, I think, overall. And that makes it very difficult to earn Platinum on anything under the Nissan 350Z on most of the events. So Nissan 350Z is kind of in its own sort of area, much like the BMW Z4 is in the Sports Convertible series. It's just too far off the pace of these. Just not massively, but it is too far to be like really competitive. And then we jump to these two, and the Audi S4 and the BMW M3. They're pretty close, but the BMW M3 is, again, a little bit better than the S4. You can notice the difference in acceleration and cornering and everything. So most of the time, this will win quite easily. So that's my thoughts on the cars. And in this one, it's the timed run. 2 laps. Now, in the BMW, this is actually quite difficult. And going down, the S4 is difficult. And then the Nissan 350Z, it's very difficult. The others have not got a chance. Absolutely nowhere near. So I'm going to attempt it in the 350Z and see what we're saying here. So we've got a time of 1 minute 29 to complete. I think it was 2 laps, actually. So we'll try it. Right, let's see what we can do here. This is going to be a little challenging. That corner's horrible. Absolutely hate that corner. We're going to have to absolutely send this car if we've got a hope of doing this. That was quite nice. I don't actually know what time we need per lap. I probably should have worked that out. I think it's 44 something we need. Yeah, that seems alright. I absolutely cannot do this corner at all. It's one of my worst corners in the game for some reason. You kind of have to like power slide around it. Oh, I've got 2 wheels there. We had a little bit of time bank from the first lap, I think, but not much at all. It's going to be very close. Fly down there. I think we had over a second, actually. It's not too bad at all, really. So, like I said, it is kind of a handicap, but nothing major. So, we passed by 1.2 seconds, which in that car is not horrendous, to be honest. So that's nice and well, not nice and easy. I was going to say it's okay. It's definitely possible. Definitely possible. Right, this street race, I tried for hours and hours and hours. Well, that's an exaggeration. Maybe an hour or 2. In the Audi TT 3.2 Quattro, I just could not do it. I can get ahead of them. I can dive bomb them there's a corner on one end of the straight with the hairpin, and you can dive bomb them on the first lap and try and get ahead, which I did manage to, but then you've got to hold off the M3 and the Audi S4, and it's just impossible. You end up spinning yourself out. You can try and spin them out, but then the other, the rest of the field come past. It's just an absolute nightmare. I do believe it is possible in the Audi TT 3.2 Quattro. I'm going to say that I think it's possible. Anyone is welcome to try it, but I don't want to sit there for 12 hours waiting for the exact right conditions for the computers to slip up or fight each other and you having to take them out and dive bomb them. That is basically what it is. So there is a very slim chance that you can do it if you can hold them both off when you're in front. But it's 3 laps, and if you look at the track, there's 2 huge straights on it, and that is the problem. They just absolutely fly past you on the straights, and you've got to block them both. So I'm not going to attempt it. I'm going to do it in the 350Z. So that is my decision there. Right. We're in the 350Z. Like I said, I believe it is possible in the Audi TT. But it is literally like the slimmest margin. And I'll show you which corner you can dive bomb on. Like in this car, it's not horrendous. They will catch you on the straights though, for sure, especially the M3. Actually managed to just go for an undertake there. You wouldn't believe how much slower the rest of the pack are than these 3 cars. It's crazy. But even these 2 cars, look, are just going to pull past me easily. Don't know what's happening here. Everyone's spinning out. That's a hard corner as well to do. You don't want to go too wide because they will dive bomb you quite badly. So that's the corner you can dive bomb on, but this is the problem. And usually the Audi's pretty close as well, but how do you stop them getting past you without spinning yourself out? It's quite easily done. And then you've got to change the way you drive to stop them coming past. Oh, just got one on 2 wheels there. That's not ideal. But this is in the 350Z. Can you imagine this in the Audi TT? It's so slow. Look how quickly he's coming past. That car, it's just insane, that BMW. Absolutely. I'm going to have to go for a lunge here. This is the corner that you lunge on all the time. Right, I didn't actually need to lunge properly then, which is fine. Like, it's still a challenge in this car. You have to do some dirty driving to stay ahead, really. And it's mainly just because of these massive straights. If these straights weren't here, you'd have a much better chance. But there's no easy way of stopping him on the straights without spinning yourself out. Just got to slide in front of him. Like I said, anyone can try in that Audi TT if they fancy, and let me know how you do. Forgot to change gear. Yeah, the events with the most wiggle room, for sure, are the street races and the one-on-ones because of the nature of the events. So many different factors in the race, like the AI driving and you being able to pit maneuver them and all sorts of stuff like that. Whereas like the timed runs and everything, it's quite nailed on if you can do it in that car. It just depends on how quick you drive. Like now, the M3, sorry, might come past just before the finish. And there we go, spin to finish. So even in a 350Z, that is not the easiest race. You still have to block, you still have to do dirty driving. The M3 is just massively quicker. Even more so than the S4. I mean, it's the gap between the M3 and the S4 is still quite a bit. So, yeah, that's 2 events in the Nissan 350Z. Obviously, you can do them in the S4 and the M3. Speed camera. Now, this is interesting. So, in the M3 is obviously the one to go for here. In the M3, I think I managed 2 miles per hour over the speed trap target. In the S4, I managed 1 mile per hour over the speed trap target, and then in the Nissan 350Z I actually managed to hit the target. So the target is 105, so I've got 106 in the S4 and 107 in the M3, so we can do it in the Nissan 350Z, so we're going to do that. I've got 104 about 4 times in a row now. So difficult. It felt decent. I think that's going to be 104 though. I think I did it. Yes, 105. I literally got 104 miles per hour about 5 times in a row there. Have to use all the space, and it just turns over to 105 by the end of it. So in the 350Z, that is possible. Getting all these kudos tokens, but we're not really unlocking many cars. So the first 3 events, yeah, we did manage a platinum medal in the 350Z. I have to say as well that in the first 2, all the cars could get gold. The cars below the 350Z, and in the speed camera, they could all get silver. So literally the gap between platinum and, well, the gap between these cars is platinum and silver. There's literally no one that can do gold. The Audi TT 3.2 Quattro can't do gold in there. As far as I'm aware, anyway. Right, so next we've got a one-on-one. And because of the nature of this one, and because we start near a corner, I was able to actually do this in the Honda Integra Type R somehow. So the worst car in the class is capable of doing this. So basically, you have to dive bomb. I think it's the second corner. And then it's just a game of literally just holding off the BMW for, I think, 2 laps. It's actually quite stupid because you're just in front of him and slowing him down. So it's a bit of a strange win. But it is possible, so we'll try it. You just have to block him the entire way. That is the only way this is even possible. And this is taking me a long time already to try and do this. Stupid understeer of this car. Luckily that corner's there though. The only way this is possible is because the corners are so close to the start. So you don't get dropped too badly. This entire race is stupid though. This car has got horrible handling, it really does. Look how quickly he catches up. He's like right behind instantly. I'm going to understeer here. That's fine. The front wheel drive of this car really does feel like an even bigger handicap than it should do. Oh, he nearly went for the move there. If we can hold him off down here, this might be good enough. That's fine. Oh, this car is just awful. I hate it. We need to repeat the first lap, if possible, without getting spun out. Oh, that is not ideal. I actually slowed him down, though. It's a slightly hollow victory if we are going to win this, isn't it? Because you don't really do much apart from just dive bomb him and then just block him the entire way. So I've got to make sure he doesn't do the same on this lap, this corner even. And there we are. That was literally the stupidest race ever. Not the cleanest either. But yeah, it is possible in every car to beat the M3. One-on-ones are a little bit different because there's only one car to think about. So if you manage to spin him out or block him, then that's fine. So yeah, that's absolutely more than possible. So that's fine. Right, so next up we have the dreaded Stockholm Cone Challenge, which is up there with some of the hardest, well, one of the hardest cone challenges in the game. Maybe top 5, maybe top 3. Maybe if we're including arcade mode, it could be top 5, I don't know. But it is one of the hardest ones to do. Obviously, the go-to cars are the M3 and the Audi S4 due to the speed and everything. But somehow, I managed to do it in the Honda Integra Type R, the worst car. I tried it in the RX-8, and after many tries, I managed that. So I thought, I'll just try it in the Integra, see if it's possible. And I actually managed to do it, but you basically can't slide much at all. You finish with about a second left with, like, fast driving, and you have to link it together with good lines as opposed to sliding round the bends. So And I think I just got over 15,000 as well. It's like, it's mega hard. This is mega, mega hard, this one. So I probably won't be talking whilst doing this because I need to fully concentrate for 2 laps of this. So far, I've managed to get through 1 lap. That's as far as I've got. Right, I was aiming for a good line there, but I missed it. It's kind of annoying. It's not just the time that's an issue on this, it's the amount of kudos you can get within that time, because it is so close in this car. All these good lines are so important. I'm going pretty slow around here, unfortunately. Right, managed to do that. Right, here's the slide, which is a pain in the arse. I think we managed to link that. Come on. Yes, right. We're on the 2nd lap successfully. So whether we can actually link all this now. Oh, that's quite slow actually because I did a slide by accident. Can we link these? This is going to be very close if I manage to get round. I don't feel like I've got many moves in here. Oh, so close to losing the combo there. Very nearly hit the cone. Right, I don't know if this is looking good. Time is not on your side. Oh, I don't know if that's enough. Is it? Yes. Thank you. With the clean race as well. Oh, my heart was pounding there. That took not actually that long. I'd say I was on that for about 15 minutes. Yes, basically, you just have to get the good lines. That's it, really. I only slid a couple times there. But to keep your speed, just... getting the good lines is very important in that. So that's 2 challenges there. Able to use the Honda Integra and anything really, because the Honda Integra is just the worst thing. The RX-8 is much easier because it's rear-wheel drive, and I think the Audi TTs are maybe slightly harder than the RX-8 just because of the 4-wheel drive. I don't know. And it's a bit slower as well, actually, the Audi TT, the non-3.2 litre version. Right, so we've got 3 events left to do. And unfortunately, it's a similar story to the first half of this episode, where it's all the 350Z that we can use. Again, it's far too difficult to use the 3.2 litre Quattro. It just is not good enough to do it. So we're forced to use the 350Z again. So overtake 7 cars, 3 minutes 55. Right, so you don't have to do any particularly crazy driving in this. It's more challenging, obviously, than the S4 and the M3. But it's not, like, beyond possible. Just get around the inside of the M5 there. MX5, not the M5. But yeah, because of the nature of this track with the giant straights, especially on the back straight coming to the finish, it's, like, pretty much impossible, I'd say. In the TT, I was way off doing it. Probably 10 seconds. Oh, that's a bit of understeer there. This TT is going to be right in the corner. Of course he is. But yeah, it's not too bad. Obviously, the M3 smashes this just because of the straight, really. It pulls quite nicely on it. But yeah, this should do it fairly easily. I can't actually remember how close this is, to be honest, in this car, but don't think it's too bad at all. Ow. There goes the clean race. That corner's horrible. There's so many bumps in this game that make the cars go crazy. That was more like it for that corner. Right, let's get past the Z4. It's going to pinch me against the wall. So we've got 3 cars left to go. Like I said, I actually don't know how long this is going to take. I went on 2 wheels though, which isn't good. And there's a Z4. Another Z4. I really should not have done that. I just overtook him on the inside. Well, this is going to make this probably a bit closer than I want it to be. I think it's around here it usually finishes. So we've got another lap to go to catch up to the S2000 and the Boxster. Oh, just hit the frickin' wall again. My driving in this has actually not been very good. I used all my concentration up for the cone challenge, I think. And I should get the S2000 in this corner. On 2 wheels again. Is he going to pinch me against the wall? No, we should be fine. Right, so just the Boxster to go. And we've got 30 seconds. Usually it's after the hairpin we catch him up. I think it is going to be close. Oh, that's nearly perfect then. Yeah, this is actually pretty close. 3 seconds. But bearing in mind, my driving in that was not good at all. I could probably save, I don't know how many more seconds there. But it's fairly tight in the 350, but it could have been more comfortable. But yeah, you can see why in the Audi TT that is not happening at all. Right, this is the hot lap. This is the hot lap that's very difficult. In the M3, it's hard enough to try and get this. And then obviously you've got the S4 as well and a 350. But I did manage it in 350 again. But this is a very, very difficult hot lap. And you only pass by a few tenths each time, obviously, because it's only 43 seconds the lap. So we'll try it in 350 again, and hopefully it'll be good. You have to absolutely nail that first corner, the first hairpin. So difficult. This has to be the perfect lap in this car to do it. Oh, I changed down to try and help it turn. I don't know if that was the right move. This is absolutely solid. Oh, was that good enough? Yep. I don't know if I did that. That was very close. That's going to be less than a tenth. Holy crap. 33 milliseconds or 300ths. I mean, I could have done a few corners maybe slightly better, but that was cutting it fine. In that car, that is just ridiculously hard. Yeah, that is not easy at all. And again, you can see why this car is useless and everything else below is just not going to cut the mustard. Actually, in this series, we only buy one car, which is the 350Z. Right now, the last street race, and we've got the BMW M3, the Audi S4, and the Nissan 350Z in this. And I managed to get to second in the Audi TT, because there is more corners on this rather than straights, but the M3 absolutely is just gone. By the time you get into second, there's just no chance. I'm like 3 seconds behind the M3. I think I might be in 2 seconds, but it's just there's nowhere to dive bomb. You can't do anything. So again, with this one, because it's a street race, I'd say there is a fractional possibility that you can do it in the slower cars, but everything has to be perfect. And the AI have to spin each other out or something, and you just have to get lucky, basically, is what I'm saying with that one. But I'm not ruling it out. I'm just saying it's mostly impossible, but there is a small margin. Right, so this one actually isn't too bad. There's lots of corners and not too many straights, so it is easier to outdrive the AI. But obviously, in the 350, it's slightly more difficult. But they've just let me through here. I can probably dive bomb him there. That was a decent start, actually. Getting a bit of understeer there. The M3 is still pretty hard to catch up in any race, though, to be honest. Even though this car's not too bad. This corner is a pain in the arse as well. I hate this one. I have to go slow through there, otherwise you risk spinning out or hitting the wall or doing something stupid. Right, we're still on his tail. This is the bit I usually catch up on, so just messed that bit up slightly though. It still drives really quick through this section. Oh, nearly hit the inside barrier. Right, so I'm in his draft zone. Can I get him here? Just about. Oh, he's gone for some back. That made me spin more than I'd like to there, but they go wide round there for some reason anyway. The M3 is just no joke in the Coupe series. It really isn't. It's hard enough trying to beat it in the S4, never mind the 350. I didn't think it was so much quicker in a straight line, but look at it go. It's not even a contest. And he's going to be right behind me probably for most of it now. Got a better exit than him. Luckily there's only 2 laps. Just need to try and drop him slightly. That was a bit wide. That wasn't very good at all. When they're behind you, you make so many more mistakes. The pressure's on. They go through there rapidly quick as well. I think I'm going to stick in third here because it screams into second gear around there. Right, we are pulling away slightly here. That was a bit smooth through there. Yeah, we are pulling away now. That was awful. And I've got to change gear. Yeah, it's difficult in this. So, there are a few more series where it's kind of like this. That was bad as well. But there's much more balanced series coming up where a lot more surprising stuff's possible. But in this one, again, it's kind of slightly underwhelming. But the Nissan 350Z is still hard to do quite a few of those events in. And it's good that we managed to use the Integra for a couple in there. But unfortunately, well, actually, to be honest, the next series coming up is the SUV series, and here we go, the Sports Utility series, and we only have to use the Porsche Cayenne Turbo 3 times in that. So that is slightly surprising, considering there's how many events are there? 8 events. So there's 5 events where we can use cars that aren't the Porsche, the best car in the group. But there we go. There's all the platinum medals there. I'll pop up the Excel spreadsheet again as per usual, and we'll have a look at that. So as you can see, it's very, very symmetrical in what's actually happening in this group. We've got 33 points for the bottom 4 cars, which is the Honda Integra, the Audi TT Coupe, Mazda RX-8, and then the Audi TT Quattro. And that's the order I'm going for them, worst to best. And then we got full platinum for the other 3, the 350Z, S4, and M3. So there's not too much to speak about there. We can see in the timed run, first timed run was gold for everything. First street rate was gold for everything. Street race was gold for everything. And then speed camera, they all got silver. And then obviously the top 3 got platinum. Then everything can get platinum in the one-on-one and the cone challenge. And then the remaining 3, the last 3, they could all get gold in there as well. So in terms of the points, there's not too much splitting the bottom 4, and there's not too much splitting the top 3. But obviously, there are performance differences there. But yeah, 7 points is quite a big gap, to be honest, between third and the rest of them. So, yeah, it's quite an unbalanced class, I'd say, to be honest. There we go. It's is what it is, isn't it? So, in the next episode, Sports Utility Series. And again, there are a few surprises in here, and it's going to be interesting. But yeah, we have to use the Cayenne for a few of these events, unfortunately. But we thought that was going to be the case anyway. But that's the end of this part, guys. Hope you enjoyed, as always, and I'll catch you for the SUV series.